Okie dokie. So, welcome everybody to how to become a six-figure elopement photographer. I want to be able to see my face. Now it just shows Todd's face. There we go. Okay. It's weird if I don't see my face. Okay, so welcome to How to Become a Six-Figure Elopement Photographer. I'm so glad you guys are here. You're in the right place. If you're feeling called to pivot into elopements and you want a clear strategy to start booking dream couples, or if you're already booking elopements, but you know you could be, making more, working less, doing things better, business could be better, so you're ready to learn some more skills, or you're done with like the trial and error approach and want like a real roadmap that's going to get you to where you want to go. So you're not in the right place if you're going to be mad at me for plugging my program, because my program is where all these people got the wins that I'm going to share about. So I'm going to plug it at the end. Or if you're happy photographing big traditional weddings or family sessions and you're not really interested in elopements, I don't know why you would be here, but yeah. And if you're looking for some quick fix, like I'm going to share some secret strategy that is going to help you start booking elopements without making some real changes to your business, then unfortunately, there is some work to be done, which you will learn today. So my promise to you is I'm going to pack as much info into this free masterclass as I can within the hour. I'm going to do 45 minutes of teaching, and then I'm going to have 15 minutes of Q&A at the end. So if you have questions, write them down and we'll get to them. In return, all I ask is that you stay focused, take notes, have a positive energy, and I want you to implement the strategies I'm going to share. Some tips for watching this masterclass: I want you to eliminate all distractions, put your phone on silent, grab a pen and paper or open up your notepad so you can take some notes. You're going to get ideas and maybe some light bulb moments as I'm teaching, and then stay until the end for a really amazing bonus that I'm going to offer you guys. So you're going to learn today the top 3 mistakes photographers make when they try to book elopements. You're going to learn some real success stories of photographers that are booked solid with dream elopements and awesome couples. And you're going to get my proven roadmap for hitting 6 figures as an elopement photographer. I've never shared this whole roadmap before. So, but first I want to quiz you guys. I'm interested, if I were to just give you one of these bonuses, which one would you want? So I have my ultimate guide to elopement pricing, Price It Right. It has the cost of doing business spreadsheet in there. It tells you how to arrange your packages, how to utilize pricing psychology, how to improve your mindset about money, and it's pretty amazing. I also have my course on adventures in Google Ads, and that's how to get a huge return on investment with running ads at like $15 a day. It includes like what keywords to target, like how to run an ad, how to optimize an ad, all that kind of stuff. And then I have my elopement planning toolkit. So elopement planning is like a big reason why a lot of people are scared to start booking elopements, because they don't know what to do with them. So I got a questionnaire in there. I have my whole checklist on the workflow. I have streamlining and automations in there. I have how to get 5-star reviews. I even have posing and composition in there so that you can really have a fun time with your couples. So let me know in the chat. I think you guys are already a bundle: elopement planning toolkit, elopement planning, Google Ads, Price It Right, Google Ads, Price It Right, Google Ads, ads, pricing. Cool. So cool. I mean, pretty much kind of across the board, you guys want all of them, it sounds like. So thank you for that. Thank you for that feedback. A bundle idea. I love that. Cool. Okay. So, hey, I'm Megan. If you don't know me, my pronouns are she, her, and sorry, I had to let some more people in. I'm an elopement photographer turned business coach. I started shooting elopements in 2016, and I am passionate about helping others build 6-figure elopement photography businesses without hustling on social media. That is a huge part of what I teach. So I got my start in wedding and elopement photography while working as an emergency veterinarian, which I know is crazy. But when I finally transitioned to elopement photography, that's when life got good. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story because I know you guys can relate to it. This is baby Megan at the University of Wisconsin when I was in vet school. Even though I was a veterinarian for 8 years, I don't really have any photos from that time. I think I was just in survival mode the whole time. I mainly did emergency and surgery. Talk about like the total opposite spectrum of from elopement photography, but I loved that aspect of it. But working as an emergency vet, I was working nights, holidays, and weekends. I was working like 18-hour shifts. I was stuck in a hospital building with no windows. I never got to see my family. I had no social life. I was burnt out all the time, and I was like, there has to be more to life than this. So I started with photography as a hobby to try to help me kind of like cope with how awful life was as a veterinarian. And luckily, I started shooting elopements in Colorado, which is beautiful. I moved up to Colorado for an emergency gig, and I started shooting these weddings, kind of like, if I had an off weekend, and it just lit my soul on fire. And because Rocky Mountain National Park was a huge location for elopements, I did start booking some elopements too. And I finally was able to quit my veterinary job in 2018. So I was kind of doing both of them at the same time for 2 years, and it was a struggle, but it was so worth it. And when I quit my emergency job, I was mostly booking weddings, so I still was stuck working weekends, and I still missed out on really crucial family time. I missed out on my own brother's wedding. I was shooting a wedding that day, so I just didn't really have that freedom that I had been craving. And it wasn't until I totally pivoted into elopements in 2019 that I was like, this is it. This is amazing. I get to travel to all these cool places. I get to I like Iceland, Colorado, Moab, Zion, New Mexico. I got to ride in a helicopter. I've been all over the place shooting elopements. And it gave me freedom. It gave me my weekends back. It allowed me to schedule things on my schedule. It allowed me to travel to where I wanted to travel to. And I was booking couples that felt more like friends. I mean, these days, like planning their elopement and the elopement itself just felt like hanging out with friends. They loved the experience, and just everything got amazing. I had freedom, I had money, I had these amazing people in my life. And that's why I'm so dead set on helping you guys do this. And, since 2020, since COVID, I was doing really well in business at that time, and people were struggling. And that's when I started getting into coaching. A lot of people, were struggling with online courses. That's really all that was available at that time. And they were getting online courses and they weren't seeing results. So I started coaching people and giving more personalized feedback and stuff like that, kind of as like an answer to that problem that people were having. So I've coached hundreds of people. They're amazing. They come from all walks of life, and they all have the same goal of shooting elopements. So now the three big mistakes, and there's honestly a lot of mistakes, you guys, but I picked three big ones that I want to talk about today. And these are mistakes I see photographers making when they want to book elopements. So the first one is offering to shoot elopements for free. This is a mistake for multiple reasons. For one, it really doesn't work, when you see people, hey, if you elope in XYZ location, I'll shoot it for free. That's not a big, like people aren't going to take you up on that as much as you think. Plus, you're really positioning yourself as like wanting to travel somewhere and wanting to build your portfolio, and you're using somebody's actual wedding day to accomplish that. And I just don't think that's right. Like, I really feel like, the best way to serve our couples is by offering our paid services and like having it be all about them, not about what we want. So really, if you want to travel to places and shoot cool things, the best way to do that is through styled shoots, not shooting other people's real wedding days for free. Mistake number two is adding a 2-hour elopement package as an afterthought on your pricing page. If you have wedding photography everywhere, and then you throw this elopement package in, thinking you're going to start booking things or thinking some amazing couple is going to be like, actually, can I book you for 8 hours? That's just not really how it goes. And by doing this, you're gonna, if you do book any elopements, you're gonna attract some price hagglers, which I talk about soon. Those are not our ideal couples. Those are not people we really want to be working with. And this is often why people think there's no money in elopements, or that people only do it to save money, or that they only want 2 hours of coverage, when there's a whole lot of couples out there that want a really amazing all-day elopement experience, but they want somebody who can provide them with that, right? And then mistake number 3 is relying on Instagram. I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram. I have so much fun on there, connecting with people and posting when I'm happy. But the hate part comes from seeing everybody kind of struggle on there and thinking that if they only figured out the algorithm, things would be better. And it's just not the place to rely on for bookings. It's not a marketing strategy. So we're going to go over all of this stuff. And so when I started coaching photographers, I created this 6-figure roadmap that I have them go through. And I'm going through the whole roadmap today. I've never done this before. I've always been told by like other educators that I should really dumb it down and just do like 3 steps or something like that. Don't overwhelm people. But I'm giving it all to you today because I know you guys are smarty pants. That's why you're here. That's why you're getting educated, right? So I'm going through everything today. Okay, so step 1 is align, and you can't skip this step. Because I want you to build a business that reflects your vision. So I want you to forget the noise. I want you to forget what Facebook groups say. I want you to forget what any other photographer says. I want you to ignore what those cheap price haggler couples tell you about your prices. I want you to tune out all the social media trends, and I want you to stop worrying about what other photographers are doing, because none of this has any bearing on how you run your business and the type of business you create. So I want to know, what do you want, right? Like, what do you want for your life and business? What kind of work excites you and energizes you? Because for me, that used to be weddings kind of at the beginning, but then I kind of started dreading them. But then elopements, I could barely sleep the night before. They amped me up so much. And then what does success look and feel like for you? Is it a triple header wedding weekend? Because to me, that's not success. I don't want to do that. So what does success look like for you? And how do you want your business to support your life? If you don't want to work weekends, you don't have to, right? So this is why alignment matters, because your business should reflect your vision and your strengths. It should, be able to attract the right clients, which is really, once you start kind of aligning your business with what you want in life, you are going to just naturally attract all of your best friends as clients, right? Success means building a business that feels fulfilling and profitable. If you are making money and you are stressed out and editing till 4 a.m. and your hair's falling out and maybe you're not even that profitable and that's what's going on, like, I don't want that for you, right? And you're also going to avoid burnout by creating a business that energizes and excites you. And it also helps simplify decision making, because you're going to make decisions based on what you want for your life, not based on what so-and-so is doing or what so-and-so told you. So here's what I want you to do after this. I want you to put pen to paper and actually write down what your vision is for your life and business. I want you to start noticing what your energy is telling you and focus on the things that really excite and energize you and kind of move towards those things. That was one of the things that really made me realize I needed to quit veterinary medicine. Even though I love animals, it was just draining the life out of me. And elopements excite me and like give me all this energy, and I'm just so motivated to do it, and I just love it. Also, identify your 3 to 5 core values. That's also going to help guide your decisions, because if your business is not aligned with your values, it's not going to feel good. And you you can't fix that without aligning your business with your values. And then I want you to create a unique definition of success. So what does success look like to you as far as the work you're doing, the life you're leading, and the money you're making? And then I want to share Nicole's story. She's actually going to be featured on my podcast tomorrow. She really got burnt out on weddings. She realized she really didn't like them anymore. And so she pivoted completely to elopements. And she started prioritizing kind of her own personal schedule. She is taking 2 full weeks off in the middle of the fall, normally her busiest time of year. She's going on a European cruise with her best friend. She's saying no to weddings. She's having people who are inquiring with her during that time change their dates to like July when she's available. And she has, it says 7 booked so far because this was like a month old, but she's got more like 11 elopements booked for this year, maybe even 12 at this point. So she's really kicking butt. She's just kind of relaxing at home, kind of taking in retainers and stuff. She's saying, dream life activated. This is what I want for you guys. So step 2 is attract. And that is to define and connect with your ideal clients. I don't want you just taking anybody out there. And, I want you to really only book the right people for you. I truly believe that there's a photographer for every couple and a couple for every photographer. And to give people the best experience, they should be matched up with the right people. So, and this is really important to understand. Couples that want to invest in their elopement experience, they're not just budget people, they are not the same group as couples that want just a couple hours of photos and are kind of eloping just because they want to save money. Okay, it is not your job to take these people and try to turn them into these people. That's not what we do here. We kind of change our messaging so that we're not attracting these guys and we are attracting these guys. They're completely separate people. If you are trying to, convince these folks that only want a couple hours of photos to work with you, it's going to be, nobody wants to do that. It's hard and awful. But these folks are already out there. They're already ready to, have the best elopement day ever, go someplace cool, invest in their photographer. And so we need to focus on them. So price haggler couples, they value the deal above all else. They don't value photography. They're going to micromanage and nitpick you because they don't have trust for you, like they're booking you based on a price point, not because they spent time getting to know you and trusting you. They also aren't really willing to invest in themselves in their elopement day. And because of that, they're often unhappy. They're often unhappy with how the day went. I think in the back of their mind, they really wish they had done something bigger and better, but they're just so focused on saving money that they didn't, and that's why they're often unhappy. Whereas our ideal couples, they see cheaper photographers as a lesser value, not a good deal. They're not out here trying to like get discounts and stuff like that. They're truly trying to get a connection with a photographer that feels more like a friend that they can hang out with all day. They're happier with their experience overall because they're invested in it. If it rains, they're out there dancing in the rain, right? If it's windy, they're embracing it, and they trust their photographer. They took time to pick you out. They're allowing you to be creative and deliver your best work. They're not giving you a shot list. They're not nitpicking. So this is really who we want to talk to and attract. So ideal couples, they want to see your personality and knowledge and your photos. They want to see photos of all day elopements. So this is also when you're envisioning who you want to work with, kind of like step back and see, do I have the photos that they want to see, like that my ideal couples want to see? Because if not, then that's a good time to kind of go out there, get some practice with elopement planning and styled shoots. And then I pretty much just say no to couples that just want an hour or two of coverage because I'm not going to serve them the best. I know my couples that I love the most, that I love working with, that value me are all my couples booking all day elopements. And you want to use language that positions positions you as a friend and guide, not just a vendor. Like I think a lot of wedding photographers just kind of put their photos on a website and kind of talk about themselves, but eloping couples really want to hear more about how you're going to help elope. And we're going to go more into this too. So here's just some screenshots of people. It's been a wild week. I just got an email from a client and they are ready to book me at my new pricing. Just booked my 8-hour package. It's my dream client, currently trying not to hysterically sob, all that kind of stuff. And, absolute ideal couple. So this is what I want is for people to be super aligned and booking their ideal couples. So step 3 is profit. Once you figure out what you want in your life and you figure out who you want to work with, now we got to price ourselves so that we're attracting the right group, not the price haggler group. And you got to price yourself for success, right? You got to price ourselves for profitability. This is a business. This is not an expensive hobby. So when you charge too little, you're going to attract those price hagglers and they're no fun. You're going to be forced to take on too many clients to make money, which is going to lead to burnout. Your gear and business investments are going to suffer. You may not be able to upgrade your laptop. You may not be able to get a second camera body. You're going to feel rushed and stressed, which impacts your client experience. Like I've definitely been there where I had an editing log and in the back of my head, I had just shot a wedding the day before. Now I'm heading to another wedding and I just was not fully present, and you start to resent your work and you show up tired and unmotivated to people's weddings days, which is not fun. Whereas when you price for profit, you attract dream clients who appreciate and trust your expertise. You work with fewer clients, allowing you to focus on quality. You can invest in better gear, education, and growth. You will provide an unforgettable experience for each couple because you're not so stressed out. And you show up energized, excited, and fulfilled by your work. Like this is worth paying extra for to get a photographer that's going to show up, and you're not tired and dehydrated from shooting a bunch of things in a row and staying up till 4 a.m. editing. So pricing is based on a lot of things. It's more than just your cost of doing business, although that's super important to understand. It also is kind of based on your money mindset. Like you really got to start thinking that you're worth more, and it also is kind of dependent on your local market. Just that I don't want you to underprice yourself, because if you're underpricing yourself, then you're just going to be seen as lower quality and you're going to attract the wrong people. I think a lot of people kind of just look at what other photographers are charging and kind of base their prices off of that. And there's just more to it. Whether you think it or not, you're bringing a lot of skills, knowledge, and past experience that no one else has, that only you have. So you have a value. And then also supply and demand. So as your demand increases, so should your price. You don't want to overbook yourself because we're still trying to provide this amazing client experience. And after we are big data collectors over here, and after seeing hundreds of cost of doing business spreadsheets and kind of evaluating that, we know that to make a good profit in your business, you really need to charge $5,000 or more per elopement. So sometimes people say that's scary. Sometimes they're like, heck yeah, I want to do that. But that's really where you need to be. You don't need to start charging that today. You can gradually increase to that, but that should be like a goal to hit and then keep going from there. Okay, and then here's a bunch of people who are booking 5K elopements. Just booked another one. All $5,000 plus packages. A lot of them have $7,500 to $10,000 budgets, which is crazy. It happened. I booked my first elopement at $5,000. I've just booked another $5,000 package. So booking $5,000 elopements in my program is is step one. So they're all doing that in there, and it's totally possible. So step 4 is convert. So we're aligned. We know who we want to work with. We're priced for them. Now we need to turn our website into a booking machine and into a 24/7 salesperson. Okay. So I like to make our pricing page more like a sales page, because right now couples are going to go to your homepage and then they go right to pricing. Okay. And that's not a bad thing. That's just what people do. So let's make the pricing page the place where we build trust and we build value and we truly sell our services. So it's just kind of like, the grocery store puts milk in the back because people buy a lot of milk and they want you to walk past all the other stuff. So on our pricing page, we're not putting our pricing at the top. We're putting it kind of hidden more towards the bottom, and we're going to make them read a lot of stuff about us and and the value we provide. So a good pricing page is going to have the specific locations you serve. Just saying you shoot anywhere kind of falls flat, because most eloping couples have a location in mind and they're looking for the right person to photograph that. You also need to explain what you offer as an elopement photographer and who you are. You should have a smiling picture of you on there. You want to have testimonials and reviews from happy couples. You want to have stunning images, and then you are going to have your pricing and packages for all-day elopements. The top mistakes I see people make is focusing on the why instead of the how, where they say like, you should totally elope, and eloping is the best. And I love eloping. And I see that all the time. And that, again, that falls flat because a lot of couples have already made the decision to elope. They know why it's cool. They want to know how to elope. That's where they get stuck. Also, only offering small packages, like go ahead and put 12 and 8-hour packages on your website. People will book them. If you don't have testimonials or reviews, you want to have social proof on there. If you have a ton of photos of weddings, families, boudoir, equine, newborns, eloping couples are going to see that and be like, this isn't the right person for me. And then also, if you don't mention the locations you serve, you have to be specific about the locations. So once you have your website dialed in and your pricing page is selling you and your services, not just having, only letting people judge you on your pricing, now we drive traffic to your website. Okay. Nobody knows you exist until they get to your website. So your website is your best sales tool, but only couples visit it, only if they can find it. And if you have a steady flow of traffic to your website, that basically ensures consistent inquiries and bookings. So the good news is elopements are growing. More and more people are Googling, elopement photographers. This is just like a quick, graph from Google Trends that just shows that elopements are on this upward trajectory as far as how many people are Googling for them. So for me, once we have the pricing and the website is all set up and I want to drive traffic to an elopement photographer's website, there's a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy to do that. The short-term traffic strategy is primarily using Google Ads. And you can target couples searching for elopement photographers, any kind of search term you can think of, Colorado elopement photographer, Yosemite elopement photographer, anything you can think of, you can target that specifically with an ad. So it gets you on the first page of Google and right at the top of your ideal couple search results. So that is the primary way to drive traffic to your web page / 24/7 salesperson. TikTok is also a way, like I'm not a big TikTok person, but I have had students who have booked like $40,000 worth of elopements in a couple months from kind of messing around on TikTok. So that can be a short-term traffic strategy as well. Long-term, we want to rank for keywords. We want to write blogs. We want to create landing pages. We want to SEO optimize stuff. And we want to start driving traffic to our website organically on Google. We can also use Pinterest to help drive traffic as well. And that helps with your SEO. SEO is not scary. You do not need to be a genius at it. You can have a very kind of superficial knowledge of it and do really awesome. And I'm on the first page of all my targeted keywords, and I'm not an SEO genius, and I teach SEO to everybody, and it doesn't have to be scary. So what about Instagram, right? Everyone's favorite. Well, I don't want my inquiries and bookings to be based on whether I have the energy to post on Instagram. So I want Instagram to be a fun place that I can nurture couples, that I can connect with people in a real and authentic way. I don't care about the algorithm. It's never crossed my mind. And it's really where, when people find you on Google or Pinterest and then maybe go to your Instagram to learn a little bit more about you, you can showcase more of your personality on there, more like things that people can connect to you with, like dogs, hobbies, where you live, all that kind of stuff. And I just don't worry about like trying to go viral or posting on a schedule or trying to like find these people that aren't already following me, because people are finding me on Google. So here's just some like, hey, I got my first Yosemite booking from Google Ads. They might be upgrading to 12 hours. Google is the GOAT. That's what I say all the time. It's the greatest of all time. Just booked an absolute dream elopement that came from Google. So Google is the GOAT. That's where 75 to 80% of your inquiries and bookings should be coming from. Google is what makes life easy. So for example, here's Vanessa. She had almost quit photography, gotten another job. She was on depression medications, which she allowed me to say to you guys. And she joined the Elopement Photographer Mastermind. She did all the steps that we just talked about. She started running Google Ads, and last year she hit 6 figures. She quit her job. She bought her dream car, which is a 4Runner. She paid off all of her debt. She got off her meds and planned a dream honeymoon, like literally her life completely flipped and did 180. So she's one of my biggest fans, as you can imagine. But this is where like you can literally go from 0 to 100 by utilizing these strategies. And then step 6 is troubleshoot. I think a lot of people think, okay, all I need is to get some inquiries and bookings, and then I'm just going to be fine forever. And that is not what happens. A lot of people don't understand this troubleshooting phase. So I'm going to go into it. This is where you use data to improve your sales funnel. And this is when people are like, what the F is a sales funnel? So a sales funnel is something every business has, and this is what it looks like for elopement photographers. So you have Google and Pinterest and maybe a little TikTok driving traffic to your website. This is where people become aware that you exist. And then maybe they come over here on Instagram and get nurtured a little bit, but Instagram's not a big driver of traffic to websites. Then let's say they were like, okay, I like this person, I'm going to inquire. There's a certain percentage that go from website visitors to inquiries. There's a certain percentage of inquiries that will then schedule a consult call with you. And then there's a certain percentage of consult calls that then book you. So you can imagine if you have a really little sales funnel, because it's not something you're thinking about or troubleshooting or trying to improve, you're going to get way littler bookings than someone with a really big funnel that's just driving all this traffic to their website. There's just going to be constant bookings dripping out of that funnel, right? So a lot of people get really fixated on the bottom of their little funnel where they're like, oh, if I could only, convince this person they need more than a couple hours, or, if only I had a better email template for my inquiry response, or if only I could get them on the phone and just convince them how great I am. I don't want you focusing down here. I want you focusing on the top and getting as big of a funnel as you can, collecting data, and then improving your funnel over time. So that means improving each step over time. So again, me and my hubby have been collecting data from elopement photographers since 2021. And this is what we know about sales funnels. Typically 100 website visitors is going to lead to 1 inquiry. That's if your website's doing a pretty good job. If that conversion step, you're converting people well on your website. 30 to 50% of inquiries are going to ghost. And that's just how it is. There's no getting away with it. Anybody who says, hey, do this thing and you won't get ghosted is lying straight up. Everybody gets ghosted. 30 to 50% of inquiries are going to ghost. About 15% of inquiries are going to book you. And that's a pretty good number. So it might not start at that number as you're getting better with consult calls and communicating your value and saying those scary prices out loud. It might start, not as good as that, but if you have a 15% inquiry to booking rate, that's good. So, and this is all true if your website communicates your value, you're good at sales calls, you have a good portfolio, you're priced appropriately, all that kind of stuff. So, so this is why so many people don't know to look at this stuff. So many people blame the crowded markets, the economy, what other photographers are doing, all that kind of stuff. You don't need to worry about any of that. You just need to worry about your own numbers. And improving your sales funnel small tweaks can lead to big rewards. So I'm going to show that. So let's say, and don't start crossing your eyes because I'm doing numbers, guys. This is important. So 200 website visitors. Let's say you're getting 200 website visitors. Your website's converting well. You're getting 2 inquiries for that. And then one of those ghosts, because they always do. One of them schedules a call. And then on average, you're booking like that call every other month because you're not always going to book every single call that you get on. And you're booking them for 3,000. Let's say you have 3,000. This means, over the course of the year, you're making 18,000 bucks. Okay, now let's make some little tweaks. Let's say you have 400 website visitors. So now you're getting 4 inquiries. And now 2 of those ghosts, 2 schedule a call. And the calls go well with like 1 out of those 2 calls. You've raised your prices a little bit, and now you're making $42,000 a year, right? That's a big jump, and like these numbers aren't that scary, right? Now let's improve that even more. Let's say you have 800 website visitors and you're getting 8 inquiries, and then 4 of those ghosts. Let's say just 3 schedule a call. Maybe you're not available for 1 of those inquiries, or maybe they gave you red flags. The calls go well, and you're booking maybe like 1 to 3 of those a month, and you've raised your prices to 5,000 bucks. Now you're making 120 grand a year. Again, I don't feel like these are scary numbers, right? So again, by focusing on the top of your sales funnel, but also like, making sure your consult calls are going well, making sure like things are converting the way that they should is going to, get you to that 100K mark. So to be a 6-figure elopement photographer, you only need to book $25,000 elopements. That's an average of 1 to 2 bookings a month. Like these are not scary numbers. Maybe the $5,000 part, but like it's fairly easy to book a $5,000 elopement. So you only need 20 couples. That's it. 20 couples in a sea of, I think there's like 2.5 to 3 million, couples getting married every year, and more of those are turning to elopements. You can totally do this. And if you are having any doubts, I'm going to give you all the testimonials because I want you to see that this is possible. I want you to feel inspired and energized, right? So here's somebody who just says, thank you for everything. If I can do it, anyone can. Booked my highest package, 12 hours over 2 days at 8,000. Just booked elopement number 4. This is someone who never booked elopements before. This girl booked 3 elopements in a day, 3 elopement bookings today for Grand Teton National Park. Pinch me. Holy crap, I just booked an 8K elopement in DC, literally 2 weeks from today, because of SEO and blogging. Trust the process. And here's Natasha. She booked 140K in elopements. Her first year as an elopement photographer last year. She had moved to the Pacific Northwest, had like her business completely stalled out. She was doing weddings in New York before. She used the strategy that I just talked to you about, alignment. Now I'm going to forget the steps. She's aligned. She's attracting the right people. She's pricing for profit. She turned her website into a sales page. She utilized short-term and long-term strategies to drive traffic to her website, and she optimized her funnel. So she hit 140,000 bucks last year. Everyone said last year was a slow booking year, and like we didn't see that. Erica is another Pacific Northwest elopement photographer. She struggled to book even $7,000 worth of stuff in 2023, and she hit her goal of 90K last year. Sydney is one of my OGs from the Elopement Photographer Mastermind. She started booking 5K elopements like right away. I think she booked $40,000 worth in a couple months and like was able to quit her job. She had less than 1,000 Instagram followers when she started doing that. Hannah lives in Alabama, but she's obsessed with red rocks. So she's booking elopements in Phoenix and Sedona and Las Vegas, and basically like has her calendar mapped out for like certain months that she travels out to her favorite place in the world. So she's killing it. And then Cheryl Ann, this is a lot, but basically she left in December from the mastermind for her maternity leave. She just had a really cute little baby. And she was struggling because she was getting bookings from Instagram, but it took all of her energy to do it. And she had a health scare that basically, left her unable to keep hustling on Instagram, and like her business came to a halt. So she joined the mastermind, and then she's booked dream elopements in the Amalfi Coast, Thailand, multi-day elopements at prices she once thought were out of reach. She's getting inquiries through Google instead of hustling. She's got blogs ranking on the first page. This was back in December when she already had 8 elopements booked for this year. I haven't reached out to her to see where she's at now, but I'm sure she's booked out her year. She left the Navy because she's going to stay home with her daughter. She has the freedom to create her own schedule, choose bookings that align with her, and she said it was the smartest move she ever made. So now I'm going to plug the mastermind. It is the first mastermind for elopement photographers who want to hit 6 figures and beyond. And whether you're just starting out and you're ready to book your first all-day elopement, or you've been in the game for a while and kind of doing okay, but this could be better, this is how you scale quickly and efficiently without, all the trial and error and all the stuff on Instagram that's just not true. So I want to talk about too the difference between the Elopement Photographer Mastermind and online courses, because if you were here at the beginning, I talked about how like I created the mastermind basically as a direct response to people who are struggling with online courses. And online courses, they're oftentimes like $2,000, right? So these online courses that like everybody's gotten, they have long videos packed with fluff because they want to be able to say like 60 hours of education or whatever. So they pack a whole lot of stuff in there because they think that it's more valuable if they have more stuff. And I don't agree with that. And some of these courses do offer like a really large coaching call once a month. But this coach doesn't know you, so it's hard to get heard and seen and like real personalized feedback. They also often have huge Facebook groups, which again, nobody really knows your business inside and out in there. So you might get generic answers to your questions, or like, I just think Facebook is so toxic. So I try to stay off Facebook just as much as possible. So yeah, you don't get any personalized feedback. There's nobody to really know your business inside and out. They also, studies have been done, and only 3 to 15% of people who get online courses ever complete them. So I know with my ADHD, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to figure all this out on my own. And most of my courses just sat in my inbox collecting dust. And then there's no auditing of your business either. Whereas in the Elopement Photographer Mastermind, I made short actionable videos. I'm getting straight to the point. I'm not teaching you anything that's not going to make you your money back. And because I want to save you time. So my videos are like 15 minutes long. We also have 9 coaching calls a month. 3 of them are with me. The rest are with my support coaches, and it's covering multiple topics. There's maybe 10 people in a class at once, sometimes 6. We also have a Slack group where myself and my team answer questions quickly. And we have homework reviews at every step, which means every step you're getting us to review what you're working on and give you feedback, which also means we know your business inside and out. We know your vision, we know your pricing, we know the clients you're trying to attract, we know your metrics. And so you're getting answers based on our intimate knowledge of what's going on in your business. There's also a 95% completion rate for these kind of group coaching programs where people are actually holding you accountable and making you do the work. And you also get line by line website audits, Pinterest audits, monthly metric audits, like we are in your business. So I'm saying we because there's a team of us. This is me and my husband, Todd. So I'm an ex-emergency vet. He's an ex-rocket scientist, but he does video. He quit his career to do video with me. He's up there at the top. And he's also kind of the administrator of the Elopement Photographer Mastermind. He does video coaching calls. He also like handles spreadsheets and any other administrative tasks. We also have Juliana, and well, actually, we have Juliana, we have Brittany, we have Karen, and we have Megan. These 4 ladies all went through the mastermind at some point and got amazing results. And so I've invited them back to be support coaches. And when you join the mastermind, not only do you have me as your head coach, but then you're assigned one of the support coaches as well. So Juliana hit 6 figures shooting all day elopements in Washington, D.C. It was a market that no one had tapped into because everyone was offering 2-hour elopements. And as soon as she started offering all day stuff, her like business blew up. We have Natalie here. So she's our website and copy queen. So she's the one that, audits all of your copy, like all of the words on your website and does like a full line by line audit of your website to make sure that you're converting every 100 website visitors into 1 inquiry. Brittany also went through the mastermind. She is like our Google Ads guru. She has been running Google Ads for years based on my strategy, but she knows all the nitty-gritty stuff, like all the details. Karen is a mom of 2. She joined the mastermind when she had an infant and a toddler at home. She hit 6 figures her first year. Now I think she hit 200K last year, and she's our streamlining and automating queen because she just wants to hang out with her kiddos. So she doesn't work that much because she's got all her systems set up, and she helps us with that too. And then Paula is our Pinterest queen. I've always kind of struggled with Pinterest, even though it's such an important tool. So she does a Pinterest audit. She does a monthly Pinterest call, and she's in the Slack group to answer all of the Pinterest questions. And then Megan here, another kind of OG from the original mastermind group. She moved from Indiana to Colorado, a so-called, saturated market, and she's been booking 6 figures of of elopements in Colorado. She also does photo critiques because she's like our fine art. Like her photos are they're just art. They're beautiful. So she does photo critiques. So not only do you get my whole roadmap, which I basically talked to you about, all the, today's thing was all about that roadmap, but like I give you way more in-depth outlines for everything so that you know exactly what you're doing. You get the 6-figure stoke roadmap inside the Elopement Photographer Mastermind. You also get group coaching with me 3 times a month, small group coaching with like 6 to 10 people. You get video coaching, copy coaching, Pinterest coaching, website reviews, Google Ads, streamlining and automating, photo critiques with Megan. So you get all of these available each month. You can show up and just do work in the background, or you can really utilize them. Or some people who are at the beginning in the mastermind don't utilize this stuff as much until they get to the troubleshooting part. And you can do whatever you want. They're just available for you if you want them. We also have a Slack group. And this is where we answer questions in between the group coaching calls. We celebrate wins in there. We post our struggles, we get vulnerable in there, but we also kick ass in there. And then this is when I tell you guys that if you apply for the mastermind, you get all of these bonuses. You don't have to pick just one. You get all 3 because I want you planning elopements like, amazing. So you get price it right. This is what you're going to use to make your to create your 12-hour, 8-hour, and 4-hour elopement packages and start booking all-day elopements at $5,000. You're going to get adventures in Google Ads, and we're going to teach you how to run cheap and easy Google Ads and start, building that momentum, getting those bookings, and, getting started on your six-figure elopement business. And you're going to get my elopement planning toolkit that covers everything you could possibly want to know about elopement planning. So you don't have to feel imposter syndrome when you've booked a 5K elopement and you're nervous. Or if you're already booking elopements, this is how you can streamline and automate it, right? Like we don't want to be spending all of our life answering emails back and forth. So this is like the best way to do it. And I want to make this really clear that the mastermind is not extra work, okay? It is just the right work. And we're all spending way too many hours on Instagram, so I know you guys have the time to do this stuff. Everything is designed to help you implement things easily and quickly so that you're not focusing your energy on things that aren't going to make you money. And now's also the time because elopements continue to grow in popularity. SEO and Pinterest can take a while to work. So I want like they say with planting trees, the best time was like 20 years ago. The next best time is today. And like with SEO and Pinterest, the best time was yesterday, was before and now, but now is also the best time. It's also not too late to book 2025 elopements. We're seeing a lot of last minute elopements get booked right now. And let's be real, who really wants to keep hustling on Instagram? Because it's not me. Okay, so this is where we get into more fun bonus stuff. If you apply in the next 48 hours, you'll get a bonus 60-minute one-on-one strategy call with me. I have not done these one-on-one calls in like a couple years. So we're going to get crystal clear on your goals and how you're going to achieve them quickly and efficiently inside the mastermind. I feel like I'm losing my voice, guys. I'm sorry. And if you apply in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to create a custom 10 to 15-minute video for you where I go over your application, your social media, your pricing, your website, and I'm going to explain exactly what we're going to change inside the mastermind. So this is going to be really cool, and this is going to point out also all the things that we just covered and how we're going to change things up to get you to the six figures. So, and then I'm also throwing in some more bonuses, which is my F the Algorithm course and my sales call script course. But yeah, if you apply in the next 15 minutes, you will get a custom video from me explaining all the things we're going to improve. And if you apply in the next 48 hours, you won't get that extra thing. But if you sign up, you will get a bonus one-on-one call with me. Okay, so now we got to get into the questions. Do you also make them pay for your airfare and food and hotel? How do you charge for that? So I don't charge extra. Like that's all included in my cost of doing business. So when I am pricing elopements, that's part of what's included in the price of that. And so that's why a lot of my elopements are like more in the $8,000 mark if I have to travel somewhere because I'm like renting a car and flights and all that stuff. But they don't know, like they don't need to know what those charges are. I just wrap that up into my package, and like sometimes I stay at a really nice place. Sometimes I stay at a Motel 6. Sometimes I take myself out to dinner, or sometimes I get a nice car. Sometimes I get a Nissan Sentra or something. So it's all wrapped up in the quote. Can't wait to replay. If you're newer to adventure elopements, how do you navigate saying you service those locations when you haven't been there, or maybe have only been there during a styled shoot? So this is really the thing. So couples are going to book you because you know a place, okay? So you can't just suddenly shoot things all over. That's a strategy where like you expand over time. So you really have to choose one location. You need to understand that location. You need to have photos of that location, and you need to like at least fake it till you make it be like an expert at that location. So you really have to be specific. And like for me, I started with Colorado, and then I branched out to Zion, and then I branched out to New Mexico, and then Moab and then Arizona, but that was all like very specific. And so if you are if to book a $5,000 elopement somewhere, you have to have been there to depend your income on that. You can maybe like I've had one-offs to Hawaii when I had never been there or Oregon and stuff like that. But I'm not depending my income on booking places that I've never been before. Do you have a sample of what you charge for how long and what you deliver at the end? Albums, do you do in-person sales, give print credits? So I charge $8,000 for an 8-hour elopement, and all they get at the end is just the digital photos. They're hiring me because they love me, they love my photos, they love the way I help them, get through the planning process. And so I don't need to throw in a bunch of albums or credits or anything like that in there. It's just me and my photos is what they're getting. Are we able to watch this again if it is being recorded? And yes, I'm sending out a video replay tomorrow. Crystal said I have to run. Thank you for your time. Look forward to learning more. What if we just bought the Google Ads course? Is there a discount to offset? Yeah, so if you've purchased any of my courses in the past, some people like I had little, I've sold my Instagram thing for like 47 bucks or 97 or something like that. If you've purchased any of my stuff, the mastermind, you get everything and you get everything for life. So, yeah, so if you have purchased anything from me before, we take that off the price. Oh yeah, and then the investment starts at 4,950. So basically the cost of one elopement. And so if you purchase Google Ads or Price It Right or one of my memberships or something like that, we reduce the cost by all of that. Can you explain more what the blog's purpose is? I can't picture what that looks like, what I am writing about. Okay, so blogs are how you're going to drive traffic to your website based on like what people are Googling. So like how to elope in Rocky Mountain National Park. You'd make a blog about that. And again, you can fake it till you make it because you're also gonna like you've got to learn about this stuff anyway. So a blog is going to help not only drive traffic to your website, but then if they find your website through a different way, they're going to see that blog and be like, oh, this person has all of this knowledge, And for my couples, they're hiring me for the knowledge. They're hiring me for my personality, knowledge, and photos. That's really the big three. And they're going to see kind of like the headings and stuff on my blogs and be like, oh, she's got all the info. They don't really read through it. They don't really read through it. They're just going to be like, she has the knowledge. So when we book her or get on a call with her, like we know we're taken care of. So that's what the purpose of blogs are, is really to like show couples that you possess this knowledge and you can help them with things or drive traffic to your website by, people Googling things. How much total does this program cost and how long is the program? So it starts at 4,950. That's for 6 months. And then remember all of the things that you get in there, because I think a lot of people think it's just a course, and it's not. It's us making you do the work, right? And we're not really punching you, but you know what I mean. And and so that's for 6 months. We also have a 12-month option because some people, so I have some people who have never left, who love being in the mastermind so much that they don't want to leave. So I always recommend doing like a longer period if you can, but 6 months is also good. So it starts at $49.50. We have payment plans available, and then there's Klarna, I think it's, and Affirm that could do even more extended payment plans to make it more affordable. But if you join, I want you joining, like I want us to get on the strategy call and I want you to hit the ground running. Doesn't mean you have to work a million hours a day, like an hour a day is fine. Whatever you're doing for your business currently, just start the work that I give you to do in the mastermind and like, let's start kicking butt, That makes sense. I would be able to start with coastal Oregon, but not Moab. Yeah, Oregon coast. That's a huge elopement spot. Can you quickly talk about what content on the Pinterest looks like? Is it just a gallery of your work? Yeah, so Pinterest, we like to do a whole bunch of different things. So our Pinterest coach has found that if you do like kind of storyboard type pins where it's like 3 images that kind of tell a story. Those do really well. She also does pins that actually say like best places to elope in blah, 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 and like you can go back to that. It'll send you to your blog post. So we really like to combine SEO, blogging and stuff like that with our Pinterest strategy. What would you say the hourly commitment for the mastermind per week is? Also, are there payment plans? There are payment plans, yes. And then there are the monthly or the hourly commitment for the mastermind, honestly, like an hour a day, 4 or 5 hours a week. I mean, the quicker that you get things done in there, the faster you're going to see results. But also, like, one of the things I teach is that we're not productivity robots, like you can take a week off. You can recharge your batteries and there's going to be a season of hustle to building your business and doing this stuff, but then there should be time for rest as well and time to kind of like, yeah, recharge. So I don't want anybody, stressing themselves out with the workload. And again, it's not extra work. It's the work that you're supposed to be doing on your business. So anything else you're working on, scrolling Instagram, trying to post, like delete Instagram, and just do the lesson at hand. What if we don't have a website yet? That is perfect because now you will design one the right way from the start instead of spending all this time designing it and then having to kind of like remake it so that you're really explaining your value. Um, if you already have a whole year of regular local booked weddings and a full-time job, but dream of moving to elopements and quitting your daytime job, do you think someone could manage this program with a busy lifestyle? Yes, we all have busy lifestyles. I mean, I want to get you out of those weddings, girl. And that full-time job, right? And so you got to start somewhere and you might as well start with the right work. And you can totally put this into your busy lifestyle. I have other people in the mastermind. I have a full-time like peds nurse or ICU nurse in there that she's working like crazy. I personally was working like 60 hours a week when I built my business, so I know what it's like. And I really feel like if you are a busy person, the time management techniques that we teach in there could help you. The accountability that we have will help you because otherwise it's really easy to like be like, oh, that's on my to-do list. I'll do it later. And then all of a sudden it's 6 months and it's almost going to be like 2026. And you're like, crap, I'm booking more weddings, right? So the time is always now. I'm just going to say that. The time is always now. And we will figure out how like time management is something that we also go over in there. So like we'll help you figure out how to do it. Almost everybody in there has ADHD. So we have weird tips and tricks, but the biggest thing is is having that support system when life gets hard. Like that is always the biggest win for the people with a lot of stuff going on. How much is the additional investment in websites, ad campaigns, camera gear, etc.? Which camera do you recommend as a bare minimum to have? Let's see. Bare minimum. I mean, right now the mirrorless cameras are best, but I know people with like Canon Mark IIIs that are like 15 years old that are shooting elopements and stuff. So, websites can be super cheap. Ad campaigns a lot of times are like 15 bucks a day. Camera gear can be the most pricey stuff. Yeah. Do you help us learn about permits and things like that? Yeah, so I go in my elopement planning toolkit. We talk about permits and a lot of the permit stuff is like so case by case basis. So that's why it's cool to have all of us in there because if I don't know about permits at some place, I guarantee Karen does. Or if you need to shift to a backup location because of wildfires. This happened to Hannah last year, like it was Karen again. Karen helped her like go, like she was like, okay, I know this place is really cool and it's out of the way of the wildfire. So you have all of us to help you with that stuff. And that's why we're trying to take away the imposter syndrome, right? So like if you don't feel like, oh, I can't do this, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, well, we do. So we'll help you. We'll figure out locations with you. We'll tell you what to do. And like the permit stuff is really not as scary, but it is kind of a case by case basis. Question, how far out do you book couples? Do you take deposits or make them pay 100%? I book couples like a year out, but they vary. I mean, some couples book their elopements like a month in advance. Some we've had people book like a year and a half in advance. And most of my stuff, like I'm driving to, like it's very rare that I'm actually buying plane tickets and stuff like that. Um, but but I have a lot of students who like they do travel for every single one. So but yeah, and like you can always if somebody's booking too quick and you're like, I can get cheap tickets, I mean you can up the price or something like that. Is it mostly weekend stuff? If somebody already has a full-time job and doesn't want to quit, you can book. So I book on weekdays. I really like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays because it's like the least amount of crowds. But you can totally book weekends. And that's kind of where the whole like, what do you want your life to look like comes in because you don't have to do it my way, you know? So if you have a full-time job and it makes sense to book things on the weekends, go for it. There's also, moms who like, their partner can watch the kids on the weekend, so they have to book on the weekend, stuff like that. Um, I like to usually book only 1 to 3 months in advance. Could that be a specific niche? I don't know if it could be a specific niche, but it could definitely be, um, you know, well, you could put that on like your contact form, but there are definitely a lot of last minute elopements and like so that could be something that you either have in your messaging or if anybody's trying to book too far in advance, you just say no or come back to me in a few months. I haven't helped somebody with that yet, but again, any type of business model you want to create with elopements, you totally can. You're welcome. Any other questions? My throat is like dry. I think I need some water. So elopement, just a private wedding with less guests. Yeah, so elopements to me are like you're having your ceremony out in nature, and it could be just the couple. That's mostly what we book now, but it could also have some parents, a couple friends involved, nothing more than like 10 people maybe. So yeah, and that's why they're so fun because they're really the best way to to, I don't know, enjoy your wedding day and just have the best day ever. And yeah, they're just the best. So cool. Okay, well, that was fun, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, there's still so many of you here. I couldn't see all of you guys. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope to see applications come through. An application does not mean anything, like it's free. And I'll send you your personalized little video kind of going over what we'll be working on in your business. And I just can't wait to see you guys some more of your faces. And I really hope that you enjoyed everything today. Cool. I will talk to you guys later.